Every so often, the electronics market throws up a brand new product with new specs. Naturally, we as human beings always want more, and so we throw out our old devices and justify purchases even when there is minimal change. My main statement is that you should not wait for the new MacBook devices, whether they are called M1X, M2 or whatever. I've come across a lot of people in the comment section of my videos and in forums who are waiting for the M1X, MacBook Air or Pro to come out. Let me start out with the reasons why you should not bother waiting for a new set of MacBooks. Reason number 1. The MacBook Air Pro M1 is really good. Most of the major developers have made themselves compatible with the M1 and optimized the processor in order to take advantage of it. This was a huge worry, and with some even wondering that veering away from Intel might put the M1 at a huge disadvantage. Truth be told is that Intel is losing ground anyway, not just to Apple but to AMD, who are flushing out CPUs that are more powerful, cost-effective and most of all run cooler, particularly their mobile variants. The MacBook Air or Pro M1 will beast through tasks and is able to outperform the majority of laptops out there in the market, even up to a Core i7. Its thermal efficiency is just simply superb, which enables it to have a high battery life. I had the last MacBook Air i3, which released in August 2020, and found its fan running really fast, and the CPU was always warm. Then the M1s were announced, and I returned that abomination and got the M1. Honestly, the performance is more than good enough. This reason alone is enough for most people to not bother waiting for a possible M1X version. Reason number 2. Most likely the M1X will do exactly the same task in mostly the same ways as the M1 version, and although it may seem different at first, your brain will get used to it, and so when the M2, M3, M4, whatever comes out over that horizon, you will always be impressed by it. Quite simply put, humans are always impressed by what is new, what is fast, and what is better. Just imagine the M1X gets announced, it gets released, you buy it, and then there are rumours of the M2X or M3, and that sounds like it would be even better. What do you do then? Do you go out and buy it again? I suppose I would be making a video saying why you should not wait for the M2X lineup. Another good reason not to wait is that you just don't know when they are coming out. You can have leaks, you can have rumours. A look at the AirPods 3 for instance, they were supposed to have been leaked before. There was news of them being announced in the September Apple event, and yet nothing appeared, and so many people were disappointed. Now I'll give you reasons why you may want to wait for the MacBook M1X or M2 lineup, whichever name they decide to give it. Reason 1. You are not happy with the M1 performance. You may simply want some more juice. Some people aren't too impressed with the battery life. I have to admit, I managed to get around 12 hours, which is a lot lower than the advertised battery life. And if you're coming from a Lenovo or some sort of business edition laptop, some of those laptops can go up to 25 hours. Then again, if you're coming from a regular laptop, in other words 4 to 5 hours, then you would definitely be impressed. At the moment, any M1 performance lag is simply due to developers releasing patches and updates, and indeed a lot of them now realise that Apple is taking charge of their processor production by making its own chip. Developers are going to be working alongside Apple to make sure that their software works with the M1. They are simply not going to risk dropping Apple just because Apple have dropped Intel. They will work with them. But still, if the numbers don't impress you with the M1 version, you may decide you want to wait. It all depends on what kind of work you want to do with it. Reason number 2. Perhaps you're waiting for the M1X version to release, not because you want to buy the M1X version, but because you want to buy the MacBook M1 lineup at a reduced price, which is a sensible move. That is, if you can last that long without a new MacBook and keep whatever you have. Another advantage of waiting out the time is seeing the issues being ironed out slowly. The first month of the M1 had a shot of problems such as display issues with Rosetta and compatibility, but thankfully all of those issues have been resolved and ironed out. The MacBook M1 lineup is fantastic, and honestly they are the best Ultrabook lineup at the moment for me. I'm not even considering buying the next lineup. Even some of the Windows laptops that have been announced don't even compete with it. They don't even touch it. And to be fair, with the possible M1X lineup, they would improve a lot of things. There are rumours already about a chassis redesign, possible bringing back of the glowing logo. I don't know how much truth there is in that, but that would be quite cool if they did bring that back. As always, let me know what you think in the comments below. And subscribe. My channel is slowly growing. I greatly appreciate the comments that I've been receiving. And until next time.